This month I made $37,632.57, and this is my Charles Schwab account showing you proof of that. So today alone I made about 10K or so. I can actually refresh the page. It actually does show that, hey, this is my Charles Schwab account with my account number beginning in 582. You can scroll down on it, click on things, etc. And I want to show you more specifically why I'm able to make this kind of money. The how is already on my YouTube channel with about 100 videos specifically showing the full strategy. So if you want to learn the full day trading strategy as a whole, you can watch those videos on on the channel. But as far as the why behind things, the why is much more interesting, and I think one of the reasons why a lot of people are not successful when it comes to trading as a whole. The why is that I practice way more than most people on a daily basis. Even though I'm still successful, than more than a lot of people that do start trading, I still practice more than most people, which is not even a lot. It doesn't take a lot to out practice many people even listening to this. I practice at a minimum 30 minutes on a daily basis, and I'm already successful. But most people, they'll say, well, I live trade all the time. Live trading being at, today's the 25th and you're doing some trades in the real market, you're buying things, losing money, buying things, making some money, et cetera, but you're overall losing. That's not practicing. That's running the race. You need to practice more than you actually run the race, Think about it. Famous basketball players, football players, et cetera, whatever sport you want to think about. They practice way more than they play the little game that may last an hour or however long it freaking lasts. So you're not better than them. That doesn't make any sense. You're not even making anywhere near the amount of money they're making in the first place. They've out-practiced you in the sports from that perspective, and you're not even doing anything in that way. You're looking at a computer. The practice should be much easier because you're just sitting at a table. So let me show you how to actually practice. So open up your Thinkorswim platform, as mine is here. FYI, the account number 582 is up here on the individual account. So go to the top right over here where it says on demand. Go ahead and click that. Once you click that, it's going to basically pop up a random day that you can actually practice specifically. And this one is July 22nd, 2024. Today's the 25th, so it's a couple days before. And you can basically, once you click this little calendar piece, practice any day from today all the way back to July 2021, literally. And the cool kind of concept behind this is that it basically allows you to open up any day from the beginning of the trading day and trade the entire day as much or as little as you want to with fake money. That way you can get more reps in so that when the live market does open up the next day or the following day or the following week, etc., then you can basically say, okay, I've seen this happen before. I know what to do. I've practiced this for hours and hours and days and et cetera, and et cetera. I can just easily do this in my sleep at this point. That's the goal. If you're not doing that and you're wondering why you're not successful, that's why you're not successful. You're not practicing. You're just the guy or the gal that's going to try to play basketball and you're just wondering why are you not as good as everyone else. It's because the other people have practiced for 4 hours, potentially within the past 2 days, and you've done nothing. That's why. So the way to practice is open that on-demand tab, and you're going to need to specifically pretend to trade like it's actually live trading. So for me, I'm not going to go through my full thing, but typically I would go 09:30 because I trade 1 hour after the market opens, and this is the specific time here, and you'd go ahead and click the go button on this date. And so this pops up right here, right? This is what this specific day actually looked like. So you would draw the major demand zone at the bottom, the major supply zone at the top. I already know what this day looks like, so I'm just going to specifically show you what exactly you would do if you know there's specifically a trade here, or even if you didn't, it's fine. But so if you're familiar with my strategy, I'd typically draw a major supply zone, which would be this little guy up here. Change this to red. Pull this down, and boom. And then ideally, of course, you draw the major demand zone, which is at the bottom as well. So that plus the rectangle of 10 cents, 49 plus 10 cents would be 59 right there. And technically, you just want it to either come up, tap the zone, come back down, and you could buy an option put, or come down, tap the zone, come up for an option call. So the way to practice is to go up to the top piece up here and use these buttons. This is a step back button. This is a step forward button. This is pause. So these candles are forming now. You can actually click the pause button and it just stops, right? You can come back, trade as much as you want, as little as you want. You just pause it. Play button, it plays it. This little step forwards or fast forward, excuse me, it makes the candles go 3x the speed basically. So these are formed by 1 minute, right? But each little second's a tick. So you can 3x the speed of everything basically. And so the way you practice is you go with these little 2 arrows here, click the forward button, step forward button, the one time, and you wait for a zone to get tapped, and then you just literally play it out. You zoom in a bit, try to see, okay, hey, it hit the zone, let me start. And if you're doing my strategy, it's, hey, let me wait for the zone reversal confirmation entry. And it's like, hey, this is a zone candle, this is a reversal. It almost was a confirmation candle, there was no confirmation candle, okay, that's fine. And you wait it out, basically, you know? And if there's a trade, then you go over here and potentially do the trade as you want to. If you don't like this trade or you think you just want to jump ahead and be like, you know what, I want to know, does this work specifically because it did happen, et cetera, then you can use the step forward button again, jump right forward, you know, and it looks like, okay, hey, it did work. So if I was patient, let me zoom in for you guys. If I was patient and waited for it, then it would have been, okay, hit it. It's kind of choppy. Then it went up, zone reversal confirmation, boom, entry. So you enter specifically right here, right? And it looks like more than likely there's probably some kind of exit down here, which is a really big move. Might not look like it, but it's over a 10% gain just from the downside to the downside for an option put. So then you can start looking at, okay, what would have prevented me from making this trade, or what would have made me enter the trade? Just answering these specific questions. Then if you want to practice your entries, it's like, okay, let me go back and practice my patience. Go back to this piece over here at 940. Let it play out with the full timepiece, you know, just let it continue to play with the 1 minute piece. Watch it. And then once it finally gets here, okay, let me click that button specifically. Okay, I got the vibe of it. I got the feel of it. Okay, I get it. Okay, what happens if I enter too late and I enter over here? How much does it cut my profits by a lot? Or what if I actually enter early? What happens then? You know, like ask just yourself, asking yourself these valuable questions whenever you do actually do the trading, you know? And that's basically the gist of how to practice, right? And you can jump ahead again. It's like, okay, well, what if it goes up again? And then another piece here. So if this is going back up to basically tap the zone, hey, maybe there's a potential another play again. So if you're thinking, hey, this looks like it might hit it, maybe there's a play. I don't really want to wait per se, but I do want to watch it. Then you can use the 3x speed button. Go ahead and click that, and the candles start forming much faster, right? Might not look like it, but it's forming much faster. To me, it is. And it has a little 3x piece here to indicate that, to let you know it is doing that. And you let it form, then that way you can still watch the candles, and there's no pressure of trying to buy, losing money, or making money at all. You're just letting it form, and you see, okay, hey, it broke through. Maybe it broke through because it's kind of weak because it already did bounce down from this. So maybe it could work, maybe it couldn't, but it's better for you to ask this question now with less pressure than to ask this question when there's way more pressure because you have thousands of dollars on the line because you're trying to learn. This is how you make the money from the practice, and you're looking at it live. Maybe you're thinking, oh, actually it looks like it's doing a bounce upward. Okay, I definitely want to watch this, answer that question, etc. And then maybe you'll say, okay, you know what? I just really want to know what does it do at the end? Let me go ahead, fast forward. Oh, wow, it shot down horribly. I wish I could have done a play like that. I would make so much money because it went lower than that. Then you start maybe analyzing, you know? You're like, okay, hit this bounce, and then wait, well, I guess this is maybe a zone candle, and then this is reversal, then this is confirmation, and then there's maybe an entry here, but that's crazy. It's too far away, right? Even if this piece was an entry, right? And then this is your stop loss, right? That's way too far. That's insane. But the valuable piece of this is when you're practicing so much, you'll start seeing, like, let me take a step back. When you're live trading and only live trading, you see very few trades. So when you see things fly down like this, you see them as, wow, this never happens. I should have just jumped in early over here, and I bet I would have made a bunch of money. But when you practice much more than you do the live trade, you'll notice that these things actually do happen quite often, but more often than not, this one just wasn't. Sometimes it could be a trap, right? I've seen very often, because I've practiced so much, this giant candle would happen, and then half of this candle would potentially happen right here, and you'd be like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and jump in. Let's just say it I don't know, stopped here. And then out of nowhere, shoots up for a giant loss because you jumped in early or something along those lines. And then seeing it 5,000 times, which is not an exaggeration, by the way, would cause you to say, okay, even if it goes on without me, I can't jump in because A, it's against my rules, and B, I've seen it fail too many times. So even though it did work, it's not worth it. You know, it's kind of like saying all money's not good money. Technically, I don't care if you can make a bunch of money selling drugs. Hypothetically, you shouldn't be selling them, right? Illegally, all that stuff. It doesn't make sense. Wait for a good setup like this, because this is more of a closer to a higher quality trade than this junk, right? But you're only able to see that after you've done 30 minutes of trading on a daily basis, because that's what you should be doing. So I'm successful and able to make that kind of money because I practice 30 minutes on a daily basis at a minimum, by the way, from a trading perspective. If you're not doing that, you're not going to catch up to me or anyone else that's already successful. If you're trying to be way more successful than me, practice an hour. But by the way, I mean every single day. I trade it personally, which is not a big deal to me, but a big deal to a lot of people, on my own birthday, which is June 5th. Sure, that's fine, because June 5th was during a trading day, so I wanted to do some trades. If I would have lost, that would have sucked. Lost on my birthday. I would have remembered that. But thankfully, it was a winning trade, right? Back in June. But and that was a live trade. But I also practiced still 30 minutes later at night after I did my kind of celebratory things for my birthday with me and the family. So it just is what it is. That's the same thing for Christmas. That's the same day for holidays. That's the same day for every single day for years. If you want to continue for this to happen on a yearly basis, continuously making profits, that's what you have to do. You jump ahead again, right? And you're looking at it, you're like, hey, it looks like it's about to happen. You can see how rather quickly you can technically start seeing so many different potential trades, right? And at this point, maybe you don't want to do 3x. Maybe you just want it to, after it pre-buffers at the top left, just let it play out and see, hey, is there a trade or not? And that way, again, you can get used to watching the trade live specifically. Sure, it's fake money, but you getting more time to watch charts and see the same patterns over and over and over and over and over again will force it that when you go live, that you'll be able to very easily make the same profits that I do.